For recording. Meeting in order, the agenda Oromocto Town Council in regular session Thursday, July 16th, 2026 at 5:34 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll call for a mover for approval of the agenda. Councillor Kirkbride, seconder, Deputy Mayor Von Richter. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Is there any disclosure of interest or conflict of interest? There's none. Okay. We move down to the mayor's reports, comments. And I'd just like to thank everybody involved in this year's Pioneer Days and Canada Day celebrations. There's too many people to mention, but I'd just like to acknowledge a few involved, like the Pioneer Days chair, Jeff Melanson and Jackie Dunn, and the great committee and all their volunteers. The Pioneer Pub bar chair, Corey Price and his committee, plus the volunteers that, and for the two pub nights, that Canada Day chairs, Jackie Dunn and Oromocto Food Bank Executive Jane Buckley for the parade committee and the volunteers and everybody that participated in the parade. It was fantastic. Especially like to acknowledge Town Executive Assistant Cynthia and Joe McLaughlin from the Birth Department for setting up the float and putting the canoe in there and doing all that stuff for the 70th anniversary of the town of Oromocto. So that was pretty good. Plus the families that were there and all council was here. It was pretty good. Deputy Mayor missed it, but he was traveling.
No problem, sir.
Yeah. I'd like to also acknowledge all the work that the work department did with the efforts of setting up, cleaning up and fixing up all the things after and before the Pioneer Days and the garbage collection, because there was lots of it. And I'd like to acknowledge the Oromocto Fire Department and their participation in the Canada Day Parade, plus setting off the fireworks that night, their annual fireworks. And I'd also like to acknowledge the Oromocto Superstore because they donate the big cake every year. And I didn't know that until this year. And so I'd like to acknowledge them for that. And I'd also like to acknowledge and salute the longtime Oromocto resident, Dougie McDonald, because he ran the Pioneer Days golf tournament. And with all the proceeds going to the Oromocto Public Hospital. And he also chaired the 1976 Oromocto 50th reunion at the Gage tournament. So that was pretty good. I'd like to mention that tomorrow is the 100th year anniversary of the Canadian Legion. So the Oromocto Legion is going to start at 2 o'clock and go to 11 o'clock at night with all these events during the Legion. So I just want to acknowledge that. And that's all I have for that. So now we'll take the adoption of the minutes of the Oromocto Town Council in regular session, June 25th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. at the Oromocto Municipal Building. I'll ask for a mover, a deputy, Councillor Mawini, seconder, Councillor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. We'll move down to the council's reports. There's only 7A, the Oromocto Pioneer Gardens with Councillor Mawini.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. It was a very quick meeting. We met yesterday at 4:30. Everything was very procedural in nature in terms of just making sure things are running smoothly. Lots of internments and internments are occurring over the course of this month, but all is running very smoothly.
Perfect. Then we'll go to 7B, the Capital Region Service Commission, and that's me. We met for a special directors meeting July 7th at 12 noon, and there was the election of the board chair and the vice chair. And elected was David Duplicity. He's the chair, he's the new chair, and he's the mayor of Central York Rural Community. And the co-chair is David Sweeney, and he's the mayor of the Nashwauk Rural Community. So after that, so we'll move on to consideration of bylaws, which are at 8A, the first reading of title only of proposed bylaw 543, and that is CPO.
Thank you, Your Worship. So this is the first reading by title only, proposed bylaw 543, a bylaw relating to the proceedings of the council of the town of Oromocto. Read first time by title only, 16 July 2026.
Call for a mover. Council Grattan. Seconder. Deputy Mayor Von Victor. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. There's no unfinished business, so we'll move down to 10, the new business, 10A, Town of Oromocto Strategic Plan 2026-2030 with Deputy Mayor Von Victor.
Thank you, your worship. Be it resolved, the council approves the 2026 to 2030 Town of Oromocto Strategic Plan. And the chief administrative officer be authorized to initiate the development of the corporate work plan and or work plans. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councillor Whaley. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10B, the Oromocto Regional Wellness and Recreation Center Design with and Development Phase. Councillor Kirkbrand.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be resolved, the council approves the completed design development phase for the Oromocto Regional Wellness and Recreation Center and authorizes the development of the construction documents. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councillor Mamweni. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Move to 10C, the hiring of manager of finance accounting with Councillor Mamweni.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that Fatima Castle will be hired as the manager of finance and accounting for the town of Oromocto effective July 2026. I so move.
Call for seconder. Councillor Grattan. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. We go to 10D, the date set for public presentation of municipal plan 510-G, an amendment of zoning of bylaw 522-K amendment. And that is Councillor Mamweni.
Thank you, Your Worship. Be it resolved that council request in writing the views of the Planning Advisory Committee on proposed municipal plan bylaw 510-G and proposed zoning bylaw 522-K. And that the date of public presentation of proposed municipal plan bylaw 510-G be held at council chambers on Tuesday, August 18th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And be it further resolved that the date of the public hearing of written objections of proposed municipal plan 510-G and proposed zoning bylaw 522-K be held in council chambers Tuesday, September 15th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councillor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. The last one, 10E, date set for public presentation of a municipal plan 510-H amendment and zoning bylaw 522-L amendment. And we've got Deputy Mayor. Nope, Councillor Carr, sorry.
Now you're be resolved that council requests in writing the views of the planning advisory committee on the proposed municipal plan B law 510-H and proposed zoning bylaw 522-L, and that the date for the public presentation of proposed municipal plan bylaw 510-H be held in council chambers on Tuesday, 18th of August 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And be it further resolved that the date for the public hearing of written objections of proposed municipal bylaw 510-H and proposed zoning bylaw 522-L be held in council chambers Tuesday, 15th September 2026 at 5:30 p.m. I so move.
Call for seconder, Councillor Grattan. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried. Call for a mover for adjournment, Councilman Mamweni. Seconder, Councillor Carr. Questions? All in favor? Contrary? Motion carried.